Auburn is now a Nike school, and boy, are they making sure everyone knows.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zach Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day, or maybe your second listen. This is a bonus edition of the show, hanging out with our guy, Ben Taylor, over at the Auburn Network. He hosts Auburn Opelika this morning on News Talk WANI. Happy Nike Day, Ben, and to all of those out there who celebrate.
Well, at least if you are at the university, happy Nike Day to you, because the fallout online for not being able to purchase Nike gear right now is unbelievable.
There's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason for it.
I said this. So I was working where I work now at Auburn Network family of radio stations 20 years ago when Under Armour launched. And people forget there was not the social media presence that there is now. So there couldn't have been as much complaining. But the same thing happened. The university and the athletes got the gear first. They had a little wait period, and then the public could go out and could buy stuff. So
yeah, I assume that's all contractual.
It is.
What's interesting to me, and I do think it's better to be a Nike school than an Under Armour school in 2025.
Correct.
Like, I'm not downplaying that this is an improvement 100%. And I think the equipment will be better for the athletes, especially really in like every sport but football. I think you're going to really see it with basketball. Yeah. And then, we've heard nothing but awful things about Under Armour cleats when it comes to baseball and softball. So I think it's awesome. I am a little surprised, like, how fired up some fans are about it. Just as so fired up to get a Nike shirt with an Auburn logo on it. I don't know. That's just not where I am with it.
Nope.
But I like a lot of things that other people think are, that maybe they don't get that. So I don't know. I'm just a little surprised. I'm not a little surprised. I get it. I don't know. It seems to be it's all or nothing. It's either like, yes, Auburn getting a Nike stuff is the greatest thing in the world, or you're kind of like me where it's like, okay, like this does seem better for the athletes.
Well, maybe I was the wrong guy to bring on, because I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of the deal. Now, I'm excited about the shoes, because I'll be able to buy shoes that basically will have Auburn incorporated in them. I'm excited for the Bo Jackson throwbacks to come back. You can already kind of buy those online now. I'm not going to do that because I think right now they start at about $250. I'm just not ready to pull that trigger. I'll wait for that to go down a bit.
Okay.
I'm excited for the hoodies and the pullovers.
Sure.
I am looking forward for that. But as far as I'm with you, the people, I can't wait to get a Nike golf shirt. I'm just kind of not there yet. Maybe that'll come to me.
I will eventually get one for sure.
I'm going to buy one. Yeah, I'm going to have one.
No doubt. And I think I love Auburn's messaging on this. I mean, they had a post from every individual program that I follow: Auburn football, Auburn basketball, women's basketball, baseball, softball, all of it, about kind of it's catered specifically towards, having Nike in their respective sport.
Yeah.
I think Auburn's messaging of this has been really, really good, for the first 12 hours or so as we record this of the beginning of this deal. I love Auburn's messaging saying that this is a new era and we're excited and we're going to, do even bigger and better things. I love the messaging so far from Auburn, because if you follow Auburn and you're in this Auburn corner of the internet, you've seen some of these really well-produced videos that they've been putting out.
Well, and they need to be excited, because let me tell you something from a financial standpoint. They're going to reap the benefits as far as being able to have some kickbacks to the school of gear that they're able to sell, because Nike's just so much bigger. Nike is worldwide. Nike is not just something that's in a certain remote part of the country. So anything that has Nike on it, if they all of a sudden slap an Auburn logo on there, a fan is going to buy it. That's just how that works. And I said the same thing when, somebody talked about alternate uniforms. And I'm like, they don't even have to wear the alternate uniform. They could come out with an orange jersey to sell to the public and people would buy it. That's going to happen. And so, whereas Under Armour kind of shied away from doing something like that. You saw like some knockoff stuff, but other than that, they kind of shied away. So I don't think Nike will shy away from it. Nike will put stuff in production. It may not necessarily be what you see on the field or on the court or something of that nature, but I'm excited for some of the other teams such as track. They're a big performance as far as Nike is. It's so much better like performance wise than some of the stuff that maybe Under Armour had. So I think like you talked about,
and to me that's where I am as far as it mattering the most is like how does it impact the athlete? And just from talking to people, it sounds like the shoes specifically, whether it's shoes for basketball or cleats for your outdoor sports, it does seem like it's significantly better. Yeah. And that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, I completely agree. So it's be patient. Everybody be patient, because I know everybody, when they said July 1st launch, I think people assumed that meant you could go buy stuff at the university right away.
I don't think that's a crazy assumption.
No, I don't either. I just looked at it as the end of the contract for Under Armour was the end of June, 1st of July begin the new Auburn era. And I guess I didn't expect to see, I don't know, a Nike truck parked outside of Neville Arena selling stuff right away. But some people have those expectations that they really wanted to see that right away.
Yeah, and once again, like I don't think that would have been the worst idea in the world.
No,
whatever, it's not what happened. And I think some of that also happened with, there's a tweet that I think went semi-viral. I feel like I saw it 10 times, and I wish I knew who it was, but there was a picture of like all the mannequins, like all the stuff had been taken off the mannequins, like all the Under Armour stuff, and it's like, oh, they're waiting for Nike. They're waiting for Nike. And so, is that just going to sit there for 3 weeks like that? Like maybe that might be what they do. I don't know. This new to me. I've never really followed this before, but it is interesting.
I will say some of the gear has already been sent to some of the teams, just from some of the sports information.
Well, I think all the teams have their stuff. I think that happened today.
So we'll see it. Of that. Oh, so you're saying the mannequins were not in the athletic? I thought you were talking about like the mannequin. You know how people
like in the teen shop.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, they are waiting. And that was as we record this, there actually was a response for Rhett Hobart at the university talking about why it is not being launched to the entire public. It is because all retailers cannot get their stuff at the same time. So in order for it to be fair for all retailers to be able to do a launch date, that's why they put it the 25th, because I guess I'm assuming Nike has guaranteed that every retailer will have the gear by the 25th. So
there you go.
That's why they're doing it. So that tweet came out literally right before you and I were set to record. So
there we go.
There's your,
like we said, we assumed there was a reason. There we go. So everybody can sell it at the same time.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
And I totally get that. So, but I am excited for,
to some extent, like retailers outside of the university. Sure. But like, why isn't Auburn selling it? I don't know.
Oh, like the bookstore or something like that, or like
they're
team shop. Yeah, I totally get that. So I will say, do you think when it comes to Nike, it makes a huge difference since the NIL era on basketball? Because I don't know the AAU coaches are going to be getting the kickbacks now with NIL that they probably did before.
Yeah. When this news was announced, which seems like forever ago, at that time I said, yes, absolutely. Now I don't know if it matters as much. I mean, heck, look at our recruiting class right now. All these guys are going to be wearing Nike, and Auburn isn't really able to get any momentum going from the recruiting front. So, I mean, anecdotally, small sample size, like, does it seem to matter? Probably not.
And
if it does, Ben, sorry to cut you off, but if it does, like, I would think it would be more basketball than maybe other sports.
No, you didn't cover that. Actually went right where I was going, as everybody goes, yeah, but think about basketball. And I'm sitting there going, we just went to a Final Four as an Under Armour school. Like, yes, it makes a difference, but I also think it makes a difference who you got on the sidelines coaching your program as far as that is concerned. So,
I think it'll make a larger difference in, 0.001% better performance. I think that's kind of where you might see it, but we're not going to be able to like measure that,
No,
but just based off of the way athletes talk about shoes and cleats specifically, it seems like that's going to be a step in the right direction. So,
well, and that's another thing that Did you follow social media with the basketball team when they would get like new gear, new shoes? Because now teams don't wear the same shoe. This isn't 1975 where I hear people complain about that, and I'm like, well, no team does it. Like no team wears the exact same shoe. I'm so excited to see Tahad show his gear in his locker of like the 16 different pairs of shoes that he's probably going to have. And I mean, because
launch your own shoe, Tahad.
Yes.
I'll buy some Tahad ones. Are you kidding me?
The Hod ones? Are you kidding? Like the HAAD ones?
Oh, that'd be sick. I'm gonna wait in line for the Tahad ones to come out. That'd be awesome.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. All right. I want to get Ben's thought on just kind of the everything that's happening off the field right now. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Ben, you know this. I know this. Our listeners know this. What you may not know is if you're new to FanDuel right now, you can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. Awesome stuff. Yep. Awesome stuff. The Braves right now, don't know if you want to wager on them. Maybe you want to bet against them. That's your call. That's your call. But yeah, head over to FanDuel. And of course, the two lines that I think are most pertinent to, what Auburn fans are gauging, still 2.5-point favorites against Baylor. That win total still sitting at 7.5. Don't let those lines. I think I'm with you. Depends on the day you ask me. But yes, today I'm with you on hitting the over on that. So once again, head over to FanDuel.com. First $5 bet. If it wins, you get $150 in bonus bets. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Ben Taylor.
Yes, sir.
We had this conversation last week about all of the negative stuff that's happening regarding Auburn recruiting. Yeah. They flip a 4-star quarterback, which is very exciting. But then it's like, oh, okay, you continue to miss out on other guys where at one point it seemed like you were in the lead for the recruitment. What do you think the level of concern should be for Auburn fans right now?
On a scale of 1 to 10 right now, keep it at a 6 or a 7. If we're still in this same boat come late August, especially mid-September, I think that jumps to a 9 really fast. And I think a lot of that has to do with the way the start of the season takes place. If they handle their business in Waco, and even though that line is 2.5, if they go out there and put up a 21 spot over Baylor, I think a lot of people get more excited. I think that the juices start flowing. I think that carries momentum in the next 2 games. And I do think that you get some flip back maybe, or maybe even some flips from other programs that we don't even know about yet that haven't been made public.
So how much of it do you think is winning, and how much of it do you think is NIL behind the scenes? We'll never know the exact numbers, because to me, you're losing guys to Florida State, who won 2 games last year. You're losing guys potentially, as we record, this hasn't happened yet, but a lot of people are predicting Denarius Gray to flip from Auburn to Kentucky,
of all places.
Which he's a football player.
I know
he's not a basketball guy.
Yeah, would never happen in basketball.
You're right. Not now, for sure. I don't know. Like, those aren't like currently winning programs. And all the reporting seems to be, oh, well, they had better offers elsewhere. And so it's like, is Auburn trying to find value? Are they waiting to up the ante later in the year, which that's a bold strategy. That's the part of it where I'm getting concerned. It's who you're losing. If all the guys were flipping to Bama or Georgia, or just picking Bama or Georgia or Ohio State, depending on, which the kid, that's where I'm like, okay. But it's when they're flipping to programs that you seem to be in a better spot positionally than, is when I am starting to get more concerned.
I still don't put my eggs in the basket of the NIL, because I get that all the numbers and you're limited now is what you could and what you can promise kids. I still don't think money's an issue behind the scenes for Auburn, in my opinion. I don't think that's an issue at all. I still think it comes down to wins. I mean, I was talking with a mutual friend of ours. We were talking about the similarities between Florida going into last year, kind of the same spot that Auburn's in this year. And Florida had to grab like almost 30 recruits out of to get signed. And now they got to get half that whenever, as far as commits are concerned. So I'm not to the point where I'm blaming NIL yet. However, I will say it is starting to stick out more and more like a sore thumb because of the stuff you said. I mean, Kentucky, is horse money coming in that we don't know about from some big donor up there that, he's going to be endorsing cars. That's why he's going up there. And he couldn't get that here. So, and I don't know that stuff's ever going to be made public, just because now when you're limited to that number, that whatever it is, 20 and a half, you got to be careful what you say, because of course everybody acts like that's surprised. I was like, well, they've been doing it with coaches for years. If you look online, you look at Hugh Freeze's salary is like $600,000 a year, although we know he's making way more than that. So there's a way around it. Same deal with, hey, we're stuck at that 20.5 million that we got to split up amongst the program, 75% to football, certain percentage of basketball, and then the rest get the rest. What we're not talking about is the money outside of that I think can be coming in. That I think will, because I think those programs are doing it. I think they're doing it in Gainesville. I think that they're doing it in Kentucky. I think they're doing it at LSU. I think they're definitely doing it at Texas A&M with some of that oil money that's out there. So when does Auburn get in the game of playing that same game of all of a sudden somebody's in a new condo that has little yellow stickers on the wood as it's being built? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or not. So
if it doesn't have that yellow tag, I don't know.
You don't want it for sure.
You don't want it for sure.
Yeah.
Ben Taylor, how can people check out everything you've got going on?
AUnetwork.com. Click on the WANI logo. We do sports each and every morning just after 7 o'clock. Would love to have you, especially since I'm going to be working on. Well, I'm not working Friday, but I'm having to work on Thursday while everybody else is off. But that's fine. I'm not bitter. Not at all. Right.
Yeah. Nope. You can't pre-record? You can't pre-record your show?
I mean, everybody else is doing a half day. My half day just happens to fall the first half of the day. So
okay, got it. All right. Please like the video, subscribe, and maybe encourage Ben to go to work on Thursday. I don't know. We'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.